Hey guys, it's Hannah and this is Bookworms Talk, and today I'm going to film a "if you like this, then you'll like this" tag. Make sure to write the name down though. Essentially, it's where I tell you if you like this book, then you might like this book, or if you like this movie, you might like this movie, like that kind of thing. Pretty self-explanatory, I think, at least. I'm sorry, my light is possessed by Satan. It keeps flashing. I thought this was really fun and especially great right around the holidays because it might help you in a gift guide sort of way. So that's why I included that in the title. So I'm going to go through some of my most popular books, most loved books. I have a whole bunch. And I'm going to do it all by name rather than picture, just because why not? Also because I'm doing Vlogmas right now and I don't have enough space on my computer to hold all those files. Stop it! And before I start off listing some of the books, I'm just telling you now, I have links for all of them down there in the description. They are affiliate links. All that means is that I'll make like 4 cents if you buy something from my link. So I have it kind of there for your ease, and if you want to use that to help support me a little bit, then that'd be really great. If not, I have the names listed down there so you can kind of Google search it for yourself. But now, getting into this. If you liked 10 Tiny Breaths by K.A. Tucker, you may very well like Easy by Tamara Weber. I have reviews for both. They will also be links down there in the description. There are going to be a lot of things down there. I don't want to give too many details because spoilers, this is more of a... If you like Bad Things by R.K. Lily, you might like her In Flight series, which is, you know, it's kind of a spin-off of that. And because that's kind of a cop-out answer, I'm going to give you another option. Beauty from Pain by Georgia Cates. Or, yeah, Cates is how I think it's said. Really enjoyed that book. It's a trilogy, I think. I don't think I ever continued it though. I don't know why. Very good. I liked it a lot. Now to switch things up a little bit, I'm going to give you a book to TV show kind of recommendation. If you liked Tear You Apart by Megan Hart, you may really like the show Betrayal. I think it started off somewhere across the pond, but they did an American version. First half was good, latter half wasn't so good, but it was really kind of addicting to watch. Like, you just wanted to know what happens next. So it's kind of like a book to TV show recommendation. If you liked Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, I highly recommend The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons. It's not even that it's the same subject matter, but that The Bronze Horseman feels like such a classic novel, even though it was modernly written. And just, oh, it was so beautiful. And I have a couple other books where if you like that, you may like The Bronze Horseman. So that might be brought up a couple times, but it's an underrated book in my opinion. A lot of people shy away from it because of the size. I want to say something like an 800-page book. I got through it so fast. Like, I read it during finals and I still managed to have time. It's addicting, I'm telling you. And this is kind of an author-to-author recommendation. If you like any of Taryn Fisher's novels, I highly recommend checking out Tiffany De Bartolo. She wrote How to Kill a Rock Star and God-Shaped Hole. Those are her only 2 books. I hear rumors that she's working on more. Don't quote me on that. They have kind of a similar vibe about their books. I don't know what it is, but whenever I read one, it makes me think of the other, and I just kind of lump all those books into the same little bundle of if you like this, you'll like that kind of thing. If you liked You by... I'm gonna stop saying if you liked. You by Carolyn Kepnes, then you might really like Consequences by Aletha Romig. Not quite the same in that the writing style is totally different, even the plot is quite a bit different, but they both involve people who are mentally unstable, and it's kind of this exploration. You is more like a psychological exploration, whereas Consequences is more of a plot-driven story. But they're similar enough where I do think that if you liked one, you may like the other. I'm going to mention something else again. Sweet Thing by Renee Carlino reminds me a lot of God-Shaped Hole by Tiffany De Bartolo. Maybe it's a little bit of the voice of the characters and how they're just so kind of instantly likable that makes me think of a similar thing. I love both of those books to pieces, and they kind of remind me of each other occasionally. I think it's all in the characters. Slammed by Colleen Hoover is an immensely popular book, and for good reason. It was kind of one of my gateway drug books into the new adult genre, and I love like all of Colleen's books. I think super talented. I love supporting her. I have multiple copies of all of her books. But if you liked her book Slammed, you may like The Edge of Never by J.A. Redmersky. Again, a little bit different on the plot, but the same tone throughout the book. A little bit of a Bildungsroman and getting to know yourself, and not in a cheesy way. It's in a very subtle way that you kind of realize throughout the story that the character is growing, and they're very much, it's the opposite of static, what's the word? Transitional? Something like that. And this is something a little bit more YA. I know I don't read very much YA, but if you liked Divergent by Veronica Roth, you may very well like Delirium by Lauren Oliver. I really loved that book. I hate how the series ended, so like prepare yourself for the ending to be not great. But the first book alone, I would actually recommend just stopping after that. I know it ends on such a bad cliffhanger. Perhaps Google what the rest of the series is. But the first book, amazing. And why I think they're similar is because in Divergent, I think most people know about it, there are like these factions, people grouped off in different places in society. Again, like this dystopian type of thing. And then Delirium it's not that, but it has that futuristic society aspect to it where love is considered this disease, and it kind of like fucks up the work of government, of society, of how they want things to be run. And so they kind of like do this thing with your brain to make it impossible for you to love. And it's about the people who fight against it, and the operation didn't work on them, stuff like that. So that's kind of why they remind me of each other. Anyway, I feel like if you like that sort of genre, you would really like Delirium. Very, very well written, by the way. And at the end of this, I'm kind of done with the tag for the most part, but I want this to be a little bit gift guide style as well. So I'm going to list just a couple more, like maybe 2 or 3 more, that I think are just great books to give as gifts, because they're not too hard in the romance for someone who may be just into fiction, but there's a little bit of it. Or for your friends who are more into adventure things and they've kind of grown out of YA and they're more into new adult, but they're having a hard time finding something. I have one for that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that one first. I would highly recommend Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder. I do have a review for it. It's one of my first, so like, I don't even look like it myself. It's so old and bad. I plan on rereading it so I can re-review it. But it's about this girl, Yelena, who was trapped in a dungeon for killing a man. And they're offering her a position as the poison taster to, I think he's like essentially the king or something. And if they die, then they know the food's poisoned and she shouldn't eat it. So they go through them pretty quickly, as you can imagine, because they die off fast. And so they offer her that position because the poison taster had died, and she takes it. It feels really grounded in reality, but then there's this tiny little twist and magic to it, actually. And there's a little bit of action thrown in there too, and it's really not something that's my cup of tea, like normally, but that one just really blew me away. I was so addicted to it. And I think they classify it as a romance, but honestly, there's no romance in it. That was a total misplacement into that genre. It should have just been fiction. And I know I've name dropped this next book quite a few times, but seriously, The Bronze Horseman, if you have a friend who likes classics in any way whatsoever, or they like historical novels or historical romance novels, because that's probably what I would consider this to be the most, a historical romance. But this is the book, The Bronze Horseman, I've been talking about so much. This particular copy I had to special order from Amazon and check like the ISBN number and stuff, because this is not like the current copy. This is a really old version. But it's been a little bit since I read it, and since I've name dropped it so much, I thought I would give you a proper summary of it. It's an epic tale of passion, betrayal, and survival in World War II Russia, Leningrad in 1941. The European war seems far away from the city of fallen grandeur, where splendid places and stately boulevards speak of a different age, when the city was known as St. Petersburg. Now, 2 sisters, Tatiana and Dasha Metinov, I forgot how to say it, live in a cramped apartment, sharing one room with their brother and parents. Such are the harsh realities of Stalin's Russia. But when Hitler invades the country, the siege of its cities makes the previous severe conditions seem luxurious. Against this backdrop of danger and uncertainty, Tatiana meets Alexander, an officer of the Red Army whose self-confidence sets him apart from most Russian men and helps to conceal the mysterious and troubled past. Really, he has some good stuff in his history. It's not typical, it's not cheesy, it's actually quite unique. Once the relentless winter and the German army's blockade takes hold of the city, the Metinovs are forced into ever more desperate measures to survive. With bombs falling and food becoming scarce, Tatiana and Alexander are drawn to each other in an impossible love that threatens to tear her family apart. That sounds cheesy, it's really not that dramatic. But they're caught between 2 deadly forces. The lovers find themselves swept up in a tide of history at a turning point in the century that made the modern world. It's not as historical as it sounds. It really is the backdrop to the story, and it's super important to the story, but it's about her and him and her relationship kind of with her family, and you hate them and you love them, and it feels so authentic. I think most people would love it. If they're into fiction, if they're into romance, I kind of feel like it hits both nails on the head. So this is probably like one of the most diverse books that I would recommend. So I hope you guys like this addition into classic YouTube tag. So I hope you're enjoying it so far, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. P.S. Thank you to Audrey. P.S. Thank you, Audrey, for this idea. Great idea. She found me on Snapchat, and I totally talk with you guys. So you should go follow me on Snapchat. It's Hanners, Hannahers.